Good evening, everyone. Thank you again so much for tuning in. This is the Realdealfam Network. I am Andre, and this is my gorgeous wife, Essex.
Boom.
She is back.
How you doing?
Thank you all again so much for tuning in, and we highly appreciate all the support we've been receiving, all the new subscribers, and if you hadn't had an opportunity yet, you can join that subscriber group, and we would highly appreciate it.
Press that button over there. It doesn't hurt you, and it doesn't cost anything.
It doesn't. All it does is open you up to a great plethora of videos that we constantly putting out.
Gives you news and topics and discussions that are from us.
Yes, real folks talking real stuff. With that being said, thank you again. We're going to dive right in. We're talking about the $600 unemployment extension that is basically at a deadline. It's due coming Friday, and right now they hadn't approved it. It hadn't been signed yet, and that is going to affect a lot of people. With about 40 million plus people being unemployed right now, a certain percentage of them are receiving that additional $600, and it is really helping a lot to carry a lot of folks over.
Yeah, so $600 a week is a lot of money, and so if it's not extended, which your government has been dragging its feet and taking its time and not extending it, it has a drastic effect on your day-to-day living. So, what can we do?
You can just, first of all, you need to pray, because Congress has been dragging their feet. The president, none of them has been in sync in terms of how to handle this whole pandemic, in terms of the slowing it down or economically. It's just been an absolute disaster. But $600 removed per week, that's $2,400 a month. And now you would be forced to live off the state issued unemployment amount, which is going to be considerably less. And hopefully they could get in and get it ironed out. If they don't, it will be over. As well, due at the same time is the housing memorandum as far as being able to evict somebody. So you're going to have two things hit at once. You're losing income, and you possibly can be evicted at the same time.
So what about those bank forbearance loans that they had issued out? Those people who didn't pay their mortgage.
Well, that's another issue. Typically, they push that back at the end of the loan.
No.
Oh, that's a different one now. That's what you want. That's a deferment. But in terms of the forbearance, they give you, most of the time that's a year, 12 months. Sometimes it could be 3 months, some 6 months. It's depending on
or to the end of the memorandum or whatever.
Right. It's negotiated between you and the bank. Now, if it's at the end of it's about to come due, then you would need a total of however many months that you missed, whether that's 3 months. You would have to have all of that at that time. So basically all that program was doing was allowing you to not make the payment and hope that you would be able to come up with that lump sum to cover those months that you didn't pay.
At the end of the period. And most people are suffering, and they can't come up with a giant payment.
No, they can't. That's a lot of money. So they looking for a lot of people to be evicted here. So you're going to see a lot of carnage in the street, basically, if these folks can't get an emergency stimulus package put together. Like I heard that they're about to get ready to go on break here on the 8th of August.
Going on break while the country is under turmoil.
Yes, I think the country should propose that anybody in government that's getting paid, that have a direct influence on being able to pass these type bills, they shouldn't receive pay or benefits in it. They should be cut off completely from any kind of income, because they are paid by the taxpayers. They work for the American people. They don't work for themselves. So the only way you can get people to understand something sometimes is pinch them in the pocket. And the public right now is going through it. People are out of work.
I guarantee you, if you told them that, they can't get none of that monies that they're getting, or none of that health insurance they're getting, or none of that business loans that they got and all that free money they got. They can't get any access to any of it until
none of it. You ain't even getting a Secret Service. You ain't getting nothing. All that's paid for by the government
until you come to a resolution to protect your people.
Right, and that's number one. Your job is the people, not to be sitting up and styling in a nice building up in D.C. or get on television and look eloquent and talk.
They can wait. Oh, they'll be all right.
These folk need that money right now. And they say also, I guess they gave them a break in terms of students on paying student loans. So if you had a student loan that was due, they paused it for a minute to where I guess they couldn't put you in like a default process. But that's ending as well. So there's a lot of things coming due. And if Congress and the president don't get together and kind of get this hashed out, it's going to be, like we said, quite problematic.
You know, we have our own theories on that. That they're trying to force you and push you and funnel you into wanting to accept this new UBI program and a vaccine and all these different things that most Americans especially most Christians, are not willing to accept. But, you know, unless you get pressed to death and you're not financially able to feed your family and those things, then you're more susceptible to willing to accept those things. So
yeah, if you want to learn a little bit more about that in detail, go back and look. We got a video where we covered that in pretty good detail. But right now, I think Senator Kamala Harris, as well as Bernie Sanders, trying to put together something that's a little bit more long term. It's like a stimulus that'll cover you up until the early part of next year, where everybody gets like $2,000, I suppose, per month, each person in the household.
Yeah, but I mean, she's part of the Democratic Party, and they don't have any pull right now, so
they just talking.
Yeah, you can just call that a wash already.
Right. I think all that stuff is foolishness. You got to get folk back to work, get the economy back going, because long term, the government work for the people. They collect their money from the people, and the people make money by generating things and putting forth products and services, and that's how the economy rolls.
That was the old government. The new government is big business, and they need some
printing
slaves.
up money.
They need you to work for them for a little bit of money where they just can't pay you a socialistic payment, and you go and do whatever they tell you to do, and if you don't, then you're not getting that check.
Well, that sounds fine in the concept of some crazy man's mind, but the people are not going to go for that. All this stuff is a test run that's not working out too swell. Folk need to get back to work. It's a lot of Americans who carry, and they get upset pretty easy. And as you can see, they took to the streets here the early part of this year, and it was an absolute disaster. And that was over social issues. When you see a person get hungry
and they can't feed their babies,
yes, and they sit in the street, and it's a lot of people hungry.
That's probably why they went on break.
Yeah, they're gonna need more.
You can't find them.
They're gonna need more and break. They don't hurry up and get these folks some money. And that's the truth. And stop dragging it out. It makes me kind of feel like either they broke, they don't have it, because you gave out the stimulus. When was that? The last part of May. Some people got it in June. And I mean, it's
around March and so.
Yeah, but
May.
Yeah, trickled in somewhere around in now. And bills have been coming due. People got to eat. If you look at the local grocery stores, they're not hustling, bustling, quite as busy as they were during those months.
So everybody's hurting. All the businesses are hurting, and now even the big businesses are hurting too. Unless you're Amazon or Walmart. Or something.
Amazon they I think slowed down as well. They had been doing great for a while. It doesn't matter if you online or you brick and mortar. If folk ain't got no money, they can't spend it with you. It doesn't matter. You can get it to them same day, immediately. It doesn't matter if you're broke. You just don't have it. So we hoping that they can get together, sign this bill, extend the $600, get some kind of stimulus package out there. And I heard also with this new stimulus that they're trying to put together in terms of money, $1,200, they want to cut it from the previous $75,000 to maybe $40,000 or $30,000. They say those people in that particular window between $30,000, $40,000 and $75,000, they doing all right. They don't need any stimulus money. Only the folk that make 30 and less.
Now is the times when you have to start trying to decide how you gonna make it, how you gonna survive. So it's not up to the government in actuality to sustain you. First of all, you need to look to the Lord.
That's always.
That's ace number one. And number two is you have to start deciding how to band together and work with your neighbor. Okay, because you might have this and they might have that. You know, even if you have a whole lot of supplies, you might not have enough protection. So in the end, when you see, you know, your neighbor come up to you, when the neighbor sends their little girl over and she's hungry and emaciated and, you know, hungry, they haven't had enough to eat. That's when you have to make a decision. What you gonna do? Are you gonna give them something to eat, some rice or whatever little you have, or are you gonna send her away with nothing?
Yeah, and if things continue to go the way it's going, those are going to be realities. That won't be just a hypothetical situation. So, folk better get in gear. And like my wife said, the government ain't something you can really depend on. As you can see, they kind of out of their mind at the moment. As long as they eating their family good, the rest of the American people can hold off till they decide they want to figure it out and battle over whether it's politically expedient for them to do something. But for us, it's,
while they're still getting to check.
Yeah, eating good and traveling. And like I say, the people got to wake up. Stop sitting around and let a few people dictate to the masses. That makes no sense. It's a majority rule around these parts. And so I don't care, we voted you in. Handle our business. If you don't handle it, we shouldn't have to wait till the election take place again. If the people feel like a person ain't operating, we should be able to have a vote immediately to get them removed. And I guarantee you'll see stuff start to get handled quickly then. The people will be taken care of like they should be.
Yeah, when the problem is neither parties are acceptable in the sight of most American people.
That is true. I don't put no faith in none of them because they all the same. They up there playing games. Just keep it real. Folk around here need stuff. You look outside, you see your neighbors. The yard ain't being cut like it used to. The car ain't moving. Stuff starting to get overgrown. And that's a sign. If you want to see the country thrive or you want it to go down and start to lose value, your people lose morale. Once that happens, it's hard to turn that around. It is. You're going to need a real good preacher.
Yeah.
Well, we just wanted to come to y'all tonight and hope everybody be cheered up about things. The good Lord with us, he going to work it out. Pray about it. But definitely start letting these folk know who up there in D.C. Get going. Stop sitting around wasting time. If you have to write them or call or whatever you have to do in masses, we got to get stuff done around here.
Well, you know what they can do?
What's that? This
is Babylon.
Oh, yeah.
They can let God's people go.
Yeah. Now, reparations, that is something that y'all know we for, and we going to get that, I'm sure. Whichever party, I don't care. It could be Trump, it could be Biden. I don't care about now one of them, but I do care about them reparations. If they want to sit down and talk about that, we more than happy to do so.
Yep, Egypt. You got to let the people go.
And for other folk out there who have issues with that, saying we don't deserve this or that, it ain't about what we deserve. It's about what's owed. That's a tab that ain't never been settled, and we need to get that, and we need to get our people back on equal footing.
Yeah, 400 years is over, so now God's calling for due. You know, so these things are biblical. Yeah. If you want to know why you're suffering, you need to start looking around and seeing, you know, especially if you're Christian, you should already know these things.
They do. That's why they sitting around, and everybody had a lot of trust in the system of the government gonna take care of us. We gonna be able to go to these colleges, all these different institutions. They teach us all this great knowledge. And look at you now, everybody sitting at the house, can't move, broke, job, ain't got no jobs, depending on them same government officials up there who ain't done nothing, don't know nothing. All they doing is eating off everybody else's plate.
Those people are not working for you, so you need to come to Christ. Sorry.
That's it. Stop letting rich people tell you that they got your back, they got your best interest. As long as you working and making them money, then. Until then, they ain't thinking about you.
Yeah, they have no use for you.
Yeah. So,
right now, you cost them money. You just bodies gobbling up resources. And so, you know, they ain't really trying to do nothing for you.
That's it. We need to get these people handled, get our people fed around here, get the community, get the country back going. Whatever you got to do to get that happen, to make it happen. But we just want to color y'all. Hopefully they can get it done. If not, everybody who was depending on that, you need to find the Lord and pray that he can help you get through this, and he will. He'll give you manna. You'll be like, man, where that came from? He got you. He got you covered. But with that being said, thank y'all so much for tuning in. We highly appreciate it. And go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also,
Subscribe.
send me and my beautiful wife here a comment. Let us know what you think. What are some of the ideas you think could help the country move forward and get everybody back on track?
Let my people go.
And also support reparations for the ADOS, African American descendants of slaves. We need that check. With that being said, good night.